Prince Caius of the Azure Isle was known more for his kindness than his courage, his love of riddles than his skill with a sword. Azure Isle, a jewel shimmering in the sapphire sea, thrived under his gentle rule, even before he officially ascended the throne. But Caius harbored a secret desire: adventure. He yearned to explore the Whispering Woods, said to hold secrets older than the island itself, but his father, King Oberon, forbade it. "The woods are not for princes," he declared, "but for woodcutters and wanderers willing to face its dangers." One moonless night, Caius, feeling the familiar tug of wanderlust, crept from the castle. He carried only a small satchel containing dried figs, a whetstone for his seldom-used dagger, and a book of ancient folklore. He slipped past the slumbering guards and vanished into the inky embrace of the Whispering Woods. The woods lived up to their name. The wind rustled through the ancient trees, whispering tales of forgotten kings and creatures born of shadow. Caius pressed on, guided only by the stars peeking through the canopy. He traveled for days, following a winding path that seemed to lead him deeper and deeper into the heart of the forest. One evening, as the twilight deepened, Caius stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal glow. In the center stood a gnarled oak, its branches adorned with shimmering trinkets and faded ribbons. At its base, nestled amongst the roots, lay a hat. It was made of woven moonlight, shimmering silver, with threads of emerald and sapphire. Drawn by an unseen force, Caius reached out and gently lifted the hat. As the hat touched his head, a wave of energy surged through him. The Whispering Woods fell silent. Then, a voice, ancient and wise, echoed in his mind. "You have found me, young prince. I am the Cap of Wishes, bound to the one who finds me worthy. But be warned, young Caius, for every wish granted, a price must be paid." Fear gave way to exhilaration. A Cap of Wishes. This was exactly the adventure he'd longed for. His first wish, he decided, would be small. He wished for a warm meal. Instantly, a steaming bowl of fragrant stew appeared before him, along with a spoon carved from bone. He ate with relish, savoring the savory broth. But as he ate, he noticed a subtle shift in his appearance. A small patch of his usually sun-kissed skin had turned a peculiar shade of green. He remembered the cap's warning: for every wish granted, a price must be paid. The price for a warm meal, it seemed, was a patch of mossy skin. Caius spent days experimenting with the cap. He wished for knowledge, and became fluent in languages he'd never heard of, but his hair turned as white as winter snow. He wished for strength, and could uproot trees with ease, but his movements became sluggish and heavy. He learned that the cap's power was alluring, but treacherous. One day, Caius encountered a young woman weeping by a stream. Her name was Lyra, and she was the daughter of a woodcutter. Her village, nestled at the edge of the Whispering Woods, was being terrorized by a griffin who demanded a tribute of gold every moon. If the village failed to pay, the griffin threatened to burn it to the ground. Caius, touched by Lyra's plight, felt a stirring of his princely duty. He decided to use the cap to help her village. He wished for enough gold to pay the griffin's tribute. Mountains of glittering coins materialized before them, enough to satisfy the griffin for years. But the price was steep. Caius's once bright eyes dulled, their vibrant blue fading to a cloudy gray. He felt a piece of himself, his joy, his curiosity, being slowly leached away. Lyra, overjoyed at first, grew concerned by Caius's transformation. "You've given too much," she whispered, her voice filled with worry. "You've paid too dearly for our safety." Caius realized she was right. He had been so focused on using the cap's power that he had forgotten the true meaning of helping others. He was becoming a hollow shell, filled with wishes granted but devoid of the spirit that had led him to the woods in the first place. He decided to confront the griffin himself. He wouldn't use the cap. He would rely on his own wit, his own courage, however limited it might be. Lyra, armed with her father's axe, insisted on accompanying him. They found the griffin perched atop a craggy peak guarding its hoard. It was a magnificent beast, with the head and wings of an eagle and the body of a lion. Its feathers shone like molten gold, and its eyes burned with avarice. "You dare trespass on my territory?" the griffin roared, its voice shaking the very mountains. Caius, standing firm, challenged the beast. He didn't offer gold. He offered a riddle. It was a riddle he had created himself, inspired by the lessons he had learned in the Whispering Woods. I am born of stone, and I am forged in fire. I am more valuable than gold, yet worthless on my own. I can build kingdoms or tear them down. What am I? The griffin, captivated by the challenge, pondered the riddle. It spent hours trying to decipher its meaning, its brow furrowed in frustration. Caius and Lyra waited patiently, their hearts pounding in their chests. Finally, with a screech of defeat, the griffin admitted its ignorance. I cannot solve it. Tell me the answer, and I will leave this village in peace. Caius smiled. The answer, he said, is knowledge. The griffin, true to its word, spread its massive wings and soared away, abandoning its hoard. The villagers rejoiced, their hearts filled with gratitude for the prince and the woodcutter's daughter. As they celebrated, Caius knew he had to make a final decision. He had to return the Cap of Wishes. He understood that true strength wasn't found in magical artifacts, but in courage, compassion, and the willingness to face challenges without relying on shortcuts. He returned to the clearing with Lyra at his side. He placed the Cap of Wishes back at the base of the ancient oak, watching as it blended seamlessly with the moonlight. The Whispering Woods hummed with a newfound peace. As he walked away, hand in hand with Lyra, the gray in his eyes began to fade, replaced by the familiar spark of curiosity and kindness. The white in his hair slowly retreated, revealing strands of his original chestnut brown. The patch of mossy skin vanished, leaving behind healthy, sun-kissed flesh. The Cap of Wishes remained in the Whispering Woods, waiting for another worthy soul to stumble upon it. But Prince Caius of the Azure Isle, no longer driven by a thirst for adventure, returned to his kingdom, a wiser and more compassionate leader. He had learned that the greatest treasures are not found in magical objects or boundless power, but in the bonds of friendship, the strength of the heart, and the courage to choose the right path, even when it is the most difficult. And that, he realized, was a wish worth more than all the gold in the world. He eventually married Lyra, and the two ruled jointly, their wisdom and kindness known throughout the land. The Azure Isle prospered, not through magic, but through the unwavering love and dedication of its leaders.